Hey y'all, welcome to our weekly meditation series. My name is Martin Benson. Super happy to be guiding you in your meditation practice today. Before we begin practicing, I want to just talk a little bit about an aspect of our practice that's been really transformative for me in my own life. And that is my relationship to my own mind, or more specifically to my own thoughts. For a long time, I used to kind of pass judgment on myself based on the quality of thoughts that are coming through, right? If there are a bunch of negative or dark thoughts happening, I'd say, what's wrong with me? What's the problem? Is something happening, right? I used to pass a lot of judgment for myself for that. But the more I studied and more I practiced, you begin to really realize firsthand that thoughts are a natural process of the mind. It's like if you have a mind, you're going to have thoughts. But the thoughts in and of themselves don't attribute any sense of value for who you are as a person, right? Thoughts are really just sort of potentials that come through your mind based on past conditioning and patterns of your own life, but the thoughts themselves have no concrete value, right? What has value is what thoughts you choose to employ in your life. And the more and more I started meditating, the more I started to create this space between my sense of awareness, this sort of witnessing, and the thoughts themselves. And this really became helpful in my day-to-day life because I started to notice certain thought streams coming up, but not really reacting to them, right? It sort of empowered me to choose which thoughts are useful in this moment and which ones are just going to pass by. And so today what I want us to do is to sort of see if we can play with shifting this attitude or this relationship with our own thinking mind. And like I spoke about in our first meditation in this series a couple weeks ago about attraction and aversion, about trying to find this sort of space in the middle where you're not pulling things in and entertaining your thoughts so much and also not sort of resisting them or pushing them away. And you find this sort of neutral space to witness. And I find that the more and more you dig into that neutral space, you create spaciousness within yourself, within your own mind. You don't become caught up in the thought streams. And so whether you're new to meditation or you've been meditating for a long time, we're all going to be dealing with our thoughts in some way in our practice. Some days our mind is quieter than others. Some days it's super loud and super confronting. But either situation, no matter what day it is, no matter if your thoughts are loud or quiet, this attitude is the same. Oh, there's the thoughts, right? Let's come back to the breath, right? So the thought can be treated in the same way you would treat a cloud passing through the sky. Just because it's there doesn't mean you need to do anything about it. You can just witness and let it pass by, right? Because thoughts will change, like we talked about last week with impermanence, right? Things are always changing, and that's the good news and the bad news, right? Bad news is things change. Good news is things change. And the same thing comes with our mind. So in our practice today, what I want you to focus on is noticing if you get real caught up, real sort of tangled in your thought streams, like whether it's sort of projections into the future, fantasies about what's coming or what's not coming, or getting caught up in a past narrative or storyline or experience, or getting caught up in, a negative sensation in the body and just getting so focused on that, right? And see if we can step back and be in the space of where the thoughts may happen without doing anything about them, but just witnessing them, right? Noticing them, and noticing most importantly when we get caught up. This is really the alchemical process of meditation, is this sense of noticing when we become distracted and then bringing ourselves back to our point of focus, which in most cases is our breathing, right? Or our body sensations. And so every time you notice that you become distracted, don't pass judgment, don't make a big deal of it. See if you can just bring your awareness back as effortlessly and seamlessly as possible. So if you become distracted 1,000,000 times, 1,000,001 times you come back to your breath. And this is really the process of meditation, is to non-judgmentally and effortlessly return to our point of focus every time we notice we become distracted. And so let's work on that today together. First, if you need to pause the video to just grab whatever blocks or blankets or cushions you might need to sit comfortably, or grab a nice chair to sit in, just so you can set your posture up well. If you're seated in a chair, make sure your feet are firmly planted on the ground, and that you're not slouching into the back of the chair, but sit sort of more towards the edge. Of course, you can always lay on your back if that's most appropriate for you, but I recommend sitting. So let's take a moment to really establish our posture. Sometimes I like to lean a little left, lean a little right, a little forward, a little back, and try to find this just center point where I feel really balanced in my hips and my knees. I feel real stable. So find that stability. And you can place your hands on your knees, or just clasp your hands, place them in your lap, or take any other mudra that you'd like. And if you'd like, you can close your eyes or just sort of softly gaze out in front of you. Just notice your breathing. And begin to just sort of consciously let go of any tension in the muscles of the face, unhinging your jaw. Relaxing the skin on the forehead and the eyebrows. Allowing your shoulders to slide down your back, so that you're using the most minimal amount of effort possible to keep your spine nice and upright. And just begin to focus on your breathing. You can pay attention right at the base of the nostril, watching the breath come in and out of the nostrils. Or you can pay attention to the navel area and just watching your belly rise and fall with your breath. And just notice the quality of your breathing. Not judging, but just noticing for what it is. If your breath's really shallow, just let it be shallow. If it's deep and slow, let it be there. Whatever the breath is doing naturally, just allow that process to happen on its own and just witness the inhalation and the exhalation. So not trying to breathe in a particular pattern, but just watching the natural breath. And something helpful for me is every time I exhale, I see if I can just relax in my body a little more. Letting go of tension. Just watching the breath move in and move out. And as we begin settling into our practice, perhaps your mind might start becoming really loud. And if that's the case, just let it be loud. Just breathe in and out. And effortlessly just stay connected with your point of focus, your breathing. Feel your body against the cushion or the chair. Just feeling your own sense of presence in the room that you're in. if you notice you become caught up in your thoughts, all tangled in them, the moment you're aware of it, just so effortlessly, without judgment, come back and feel your breath and feel your body. Feel the gentle movement of the breath. Feel the air on your skin. Watching the breath come in to the body and watching it leave the body. Again, return to the breath so effortlessly, so calmly. No matter what the thoughts, we have the same attitude. Just sitting and breathing in and out. Letting go of tension in the body. Letting go of resistance in the mind. Just being open to whatever's here, whatever's happening. Taking in the raw data of your experience without the need to categorize or conceptualize, but just be with your breathing and your body. And just allow the mind to take care of itself. Nothing to do, nowhere to go. Just being present to what's here, being a witness to what is happening right here, right now. Without judgment, without worry. Just knowing that whatever is passing through your mind is not you. It has no bearing on who you are. So don't grant it that gravity. Just calmly and clearly be a witness to your own experience. Be a witness to the miraculous nature of your breath. The stillness in the body. And just letting your breath be your guide. Notice if you become distracted, and gently come back to the body and back to your breath. Come back to the room that you're seated in. Watching the breath come in and go out. If you notice certain thoughts conjure certain emotions, treat them the same, with the same attitude, without judgment, without attachment or resistance, and just let the sensations, the thoughts, the emotions, let them just pass through as you breathe gently and quietly. Continue to allow your body to be relaxed, but yet upright and sturdy in your posture. Feel both the softness and the strength. And lovingly pay attention to the sensations of your breath. Feel your breath deeply in your body. Rest in the awareness of what's here right now with you. How effortlessly can you be in this moment right now? How still can you become, both in the body and the mind? The stillness comes from a lack of resistance, a lack of judgment, a lack of attachment. As if you had two doors on the temples of your head and you just watched it all pass through from one end to the other without any resistance. Just letting the moment wash over you exactly how it is, without judgment. Just being present to this moment fully. Very gently begin making little movements, wiggling your fingers, your toes. Your eyes are closed, just gently let them open and take in the room. And roll your shoulders a little, or maybe roll the neck some from side to side. Maybe take a deep inhale in and letting go with a big sigh. Thank you all so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed your meditation, and see if you can bring that quality, that attitude of not being attached to your thoughts, also not pushing them away, but being able to witness them neutrally into your life, so that you don't pass judgment on yourself by the thoughts that you have, but you empower yourself to recognize which thoughts are useful and which ones aren't, and to be able to take the useful ones and employ them into your life in a way where you can be most effective to the ones around you. See you next week.